Hey everyone, welcome back to Bravo and Blaze. I'm Jenny Blaze, and today we've got a very special guest joining us, someone who's been spilling Bravo tea while juggling the most important job in the world, motherhood. Please welcome Erika from Bravo Tea with a stay-at-home mom.
Hi, guys. So happy to be here.
Hi, Erika. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. I am so excited to ask you questions about yourself because we can talk about Bravo all day long.
All
But I
day.
want to know because this creator podcaster job that we have is pretty isolating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for moms, as you know, but we don't get to we don't have coworkers. So I want to get to know about you. And I want to know, one, when did you start watching Bravo? And how did you decide to start your Bravo Tea with a Stay-at-Home Mom account and podcast?
Oh, I love these questions. So I would say I started watching Bravo back in the OG of the OC days. Like
Ooh,
Vicky, like my
family
mom.
band
Yeah,
days?
like my mom was like kind of turned it on. And I was in high school. And that's when the OC was on. And I
Hmm.
loved the OC. So I was like, wow, these are real people that are in the OC. And I was kind of like, oh, I'd watch this. But then when the Real Housewives of New Jersey came on, I really liked that because we're Italian. And I just felt like they were just a little bit more relatable. Like, I'm like, they still shop at Costco and they have all these little kids. Like, you know what I mean? Not that I had kids back then, but just very like relatable. So then I feel like got into it then. And I think in college by the time Jersey came out.
So, would you say that Jersey put Housewives on the map or OC?
I'd say OC.
Oh, okay. Some people fight over this question.
Really? Well, I'd say it's
Yeah.
like a tie between OC and New York
Yeah. I
and
mean,
not really Jersey.
I just go by facts. OC was first.
Hmm. Yeah, that's why I would say OC, just because that was like really looking into people's homes. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah.
really seeing real housewives.
Yeah. Even the intro, I think back then, they said, like, if you open the gates or something
Yeah.
like that. And I think that helped get us in that mode mentally.
Yes.
So I love that time back in the days. So is Jersey your favorite?
I'd say Jersey's my favorite. Now it's starting to dwindle because I don't know what we're going to do. Like
I
the
know.
Teresa Melissa thing. I know we've talked about this before. They can't go on. It's
I know. I
annoying.
really don't want them to.
I know. I don't either. But
I'm
I feel like
sick of it.
they're stuck because it's like Teresa is the OG. But then it's like she doesn't really have friends anymore on the cast. Melissa more has the friends.
Also, something that happened this week, and I'm not forgetting about the other question. We're going to go back to that in a
Okay.
second. But I don't know if this is true. Did you hear that Gia is being investigated because of her?
I was hoping that's what you're going to say.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about it? Because I didn't look into it. I just saw something briefly as I was scrolling, and I was like, this feels icky and messy.
Hmm.
And I'm a little annoyed because I like Next Gen NYC, which premiered this week. And part of that rumor that I saw was that Bravo's asking Gia to distance herself from the show now that that's
Yeah.
come out. Do you know any more about that? Can you tell us?
So I know more of the details of what it's about, but I don't know if that part is true that like Bravo's asking her to distance himself. But I do know what the story's about. They
Yeah, can you
said
tell
when she
us?
was at Rutgers, which she's like graduated like 2 years ago, didn't she? I'm
It's,
like, it's been a while.
yeah, I feel like there's been enough time that's
Yeah.
gone
So it's
by.
said that like her last year there, when you have all your important papers and stuff, she was paying a company to write them. And there's actually like
Proof?
Venmos and proof. And it said it was in the name of someone that's related to Louis.
No.
So like it's not like it's like Gia Giudice Venmo this paper company $200
Right,
because like
right,
she's
right.
not stupid. Like you can't use your name, but it's just ironic that it's tied to Louis. But then I'm like, maybe Louis has nephews or nieces that are like in college and it'd be them. I don't know.
I guess I gotta see what these receipts look like.
I know. And I just do find it ironic that this gossip is happening right now when she's
Right.
already graduated and her
Yeah.
show that she's on just premiered.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. It could be like maybe, do you think somebody planted this information?
Teresa's probably like, Melissa Gorga did this, my sister in law. Like, Margaret Josephs did this.
No, but do
Literally.
you think this is real or do you think someone planted it? Because I feel like
I
with
don't
Jersey, we have to
know.
guess, like we don't know anymore because they've done that so much that
I
I can't
know.
tell what's authentic or real anymore. And I think that's why that franchise should be done.
I know. I don't know. Like if there was actual receipts and we saw that from her or somebody paying the company, then
Mhm.
I'd be like, well, obviously it's true. But I just do think it's weird. Like, why are you saying this 2 years from now? And does that mean you're going to revoke her diploma?
I know.
Like, what does all this mean?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's kind of my nightmare. I always have this nightmare recurring for like the last 20 years that I forgot to do like one paper or something and I
Oh my
actually
God.
didn't get my diploma.
That's so funny. One time in college, I set my alarm for PM instead of AM, and I had finals and I lived alone. And I like woke up in my apartment and I was like, oh my God. And I like literally didn't even brush my teeth. I feel like I just like left and I wear contacts. So like I came with my
Oh,
glasses because I had to
I thought you were gonna say you
drive.
didn't have any
No, I
contacts or
had to like
glasses.
drive to school. I was like 5 minutes away, but and then I like ran in the classroom and the teacher knew I wasn't like faking, like they saw I was noticeably upset and they were
Yeah,
like, just sit down, it's okay. But I'm like,
that
I set like 3 alarms all the time after that. And my
that
mom
happened to
used to
me
even
before
call
too.
me, like, be like, are you awake?
Really? Oh my gosh, that did happen to me once. I was late to a final exam and I was like they could tell that it was
Yeah.
not on purpose. I was like, ah, but then I wound
Yeah.
up like finishing before everyone anyway, so it
Oh,
wasn't a
see,
big
that's
deal.
good.
All right, but going back to Bravo T with a stay-at-home mom, can you tell me what prompted you to start your account? Did you start on Instagram? Did you start the podcast first? How did things
So I kind of
go?
did like both. I made an Instagram account, and my husband's joke is always like, I started listening to Bravo podcasts. Like I listened to like Lala's and stuff like that, and they would kind of talk about the show. And I was like to my husband, like, I feel like I could do a podcast. And he's like, you do love to talk and you talk a lot. So he's like, you probably would be pretty good at it. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And I made the Instagram account, and then I was like proud of myself sitting down figuring out how to even like record the podcast,
Yeah.
upload it on Spotify. I mean, that's like a lot
That is
to
a
like
lot.
think about. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
once you get going, you're like, okay, I can do this. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been, I guess it'll be 2 years in November. So it's been like a year and a half.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah, but I
amazing.
I like it. And I feel like it is a good thing since I have little kids.
Yeah. How many kids you have and how old are they?
Two. So Bella's 7 and Sophia is 4.
Oh, Bella and Sophia.
And they're so funny. They're like, "Oh, mommy does a podcast." And then like the one time I played it for them, like when I first did it, my older daughter was like, "Are you on the news?"
Oh my gosh. Well, that's amazing. So, what was your goal with creating your account and your podcast? Because I feel like when I talk to other creators, there's usually like a theme behind or something that prompted them to want to start their account. Is there anything like that that you feel like I want my account to be different in this way?
Um, I don't really know like different, but like when I did follow some like the Bravo accounts, I'm like, "Oh, this is so fun and I love Bravo and I love to like poke fun and make like the memes and stuff." And I'm like, oh, I'll enjoy this. And I went to college for fashion merchandising. So
Oh,
also a goal of mine was to do an LTK also. So I think I'm actually at the point where I'm allowed to because you like need X amount of followers.
how many do you need?
You need like minimum like 2,000. So I have over
Oh,
exceeded 2,000. I just haven't sat down and done the LTK, but that's also like another goal that I want to do because I love fashion.
Oh my gosh, tell me more about that. What does fashion merchandising mean, and how does LTK play into that as a creator?
So fashion merchandising is more the business side. Because my school did have design. I went to Philadelphia University. It's no longer, unfortunately, because Jefferson bought them out. But we were a big like textile and design school. So my like goal was, oh, I want to do like window displays and stuff. At first, I
Hmm.
thought I wanted to be a buyer, but then we had someone come and talk like my junior year and terrified me about buying
Yeah,
because
I have a
it
friend
is
who was a buyer.
so much math also.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I like picked all this stuff and then it didn't do well. So I cost the company like millions of dollars. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Oh my God, that does sound scary.
So then I got more into like the idea of doing visual displays
Hmm.
because I feel like I'm a visual person, which I feel like plays into now. Like even when I just make the logo for myself or all my little posts, I'm creating it all myself. So I'm like,
Yeah.
still doing what I'm supposed to do, I
Yeah.
guess.
No, I love that.
And then the
What?
LTK is like all the I feel like celebrities do it. Or like all the
Yeah.
Amazon influencers you see and they just
Hmm.
have their summer outfit ideas and it's on their LTK and it leads you to Amazon and it's like curated and all organized like cuz I feel like I see a lot of people and they'll be like, "Oh, those earrings are cute. Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "On Amazon." And I'm like, "I want an LTK."
I didn't know LTK was synced to Amazon.
So it's not. You could do anything.
Oh,
But I
okay.
feel like I follow a lot of LTKs for their Amazon accounts and pages.
Gotcha.
But you could link it to anything. Like you could do Target, like
Yeah,
Nordstrom,
that's
anything.
okay. So then LTK is the platform that pays creators out. Is
Hmm.
that correct?
Yes. Yeah, it's like an app. You can have the app.
Wait, do you watch Below Deck?
No, I don't keep up with it.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you like styling and like that visual aesthetic kind of thing, I feel like you would be a good stew who does like really beautiful tablescapes.
Oh, I could totally tear that up because I love to throw parties. Like I'll do our daughter's parties. We do a big Halloween party every year and like
Oh,
I
fun.
do all the like decor and I make like crazy charcuteries and
Fun. I love that.
yeah, I really like doing
Charcuterie is
that.
so on brand for Bravo. What's
I
a
know.
housewife show without charcuterie?
I know. Like Brittany's little shark party was cute. But see, like I was watching it and I'm like, I would just do all that myself. But like
Oh
good
my
for you that you can pay people to do it or like
God.
sponsors. Like that's the lifelong goal. Like the company just comes to you and like, oh, I'll give you all this stuff for free for your birthday party. And it's like, okay.
Sheena style?
Yeah, definitely Sheena style. Do you see her do the preparation H ad?
I briefly saw it. I was not surprised. I feel like I, I don't know, I'm happy for her in a weird way. Like
I
I'm
would
not
do it.
hating on her at all. Like I feel like that's kind of on brand for her.
I mean, she's laughing all the way to the bank. Like,
Yeah.
like she may
She
get made fun of, but who cares?
Yeah, who cares? And she's probably got a unlimited supply, lifetime
Yeah.
supply of
Yeah.
preparation H,
Yeah.
which also I heard is good for like under eye bags.
I heard that
So
too. It's kind of like
super.
shrinks it.
Yeah, it's like an anti-inflammatory.
Hmm.
Okay, I want to know about Bravocon because
Oh my
tickets went
God.
on sale yesterday and today, and I actually, well, I don't even want to talk about my experience yet. Are you going? Have you gone before? What is your plan? What do you think about BravoCon?
Sadly, have not gone yet. It would have been really easy for me to go to New York because I live in Delaware and I know you're in New York. So like going to the Javits Center would have been like not a big deal. And I could have just stayed the night. Or if I went for the day, literally could have took the train home. Like wouldn't have been a big deal.
Hmm.
But then when I saw it was in Vegas, I'm like, asked one of my friends, I'm like, let's go. But then you got to think about, okay, we got to fly there. We got to pay for the hotel. We got to pay for all the food. So I wasn't able to get it during the pre-sale or the regular sale at
Oh
all. General
no.
admission or VIP.
Wait, you couldn't even get GA?
No.
That's baloney. I
And I
don't,
was like doing me and my husband's phone at the same time
oh my gosh, no
because
way.
I'm like, either one.
Yeah, I had so last year, not last year, 2023, I wanted to get VIP. And so I went to go do it when they went on sale and I could only get GA and I like was devastated. I think
Yeah.
I might have sat on the ground where I was. I was like, I'm not going to Bravocon this year. But then luckily for me, my oldest, she got in trouble that day, earlier that morning. And so I took her
Uh-huh.
phone away. And I'm like all bummed. She comes to me and she's like, when can I have my phone back? And I said, you know what? You can have your phone back when you are able to get me VIP tickets. And she's like, how do I do that? And I said, you just have to keep refreshing. Here is a list. I had like 5 different codes for her. I'm like,
Well,
just
that's so funny.
cycle through them, refresh, keep doing it. She literally did that for over 40 minutes and got me a VIP ticket.
Punishment over with.
Yeah, I was like, here's your phone.
And here's a treat.
I couldn't believe it though. That whole experience was so traumatic that I didn't even want to try this year.
I was like mad. And I feel like it's also because they didn't have it last year.
Yeah,
So
they did have
everyone's
Fan
like,
Fest. Did you go to that?
no. And now I kind of wish I did, but it was over like Thanksgiving time. I feel like it was a weird time. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to that. I want to go to Bravo. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping like I could get day passes because logistically, also, if I could have got the general admission 3 day, I would have just got it and then maybe sold my Friday day because my friend and I would fly out on Friday.
Mhm.
So we probably would miss majority of the
Yeah.
stuff on Friday. And I
Hmm.
would be kind of irritated if I like paid for the Friday tickets. So I'm like, all right, maybe this is a sign. Maybe we'll get day passes and we'll just do like Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Wait, is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday this year? Or
Yeah.
is
And
it?
it said it starts at like 9:30 in the morning on Friday. And I'm like, yeah, like we'll be flying on an airplane at 9:30 in the morning, you know?
For some reason, I thought it was on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday this
They
year.
are doing something Thursday night.
They are?
Yeah, I think. Cause then like, you know how it said all those extras that
Yeah.
you could buy. And then you know what's really annoying? The extras, you have to have a ticket to
Ticket.
BravoCon. And I'm
Hmm.
like, no, but what if I just want to go to that?
I know. They don't let you.
I don't know if they try to control it so that people that are going to BravoCon like have the fair shot to go to those extra things. But it's like, I want to go to BravoCon. I just can't even get a ticket. So then you're going to tell me I can't get a ticket to any of that other stuff?
Yeah, I think the reason they do that is because they have Bravo Labs assigned to those add-ons. And so
Oh,
for them to go in and out, I think that's the only way that they can do it. But from the end user perspective, it sucks for
mhm.
us. And it's like, I just want to go to this one thing. So I
I
get
know.
that. I get that. But if anyone's listening and they try to get a BravoCon ticket and was not able to, I would suggest keep trying when they go back on sale. I don't know. Are they going to have another sale or
It said next week they're going to do day passes because also
that's
I
right,
was
day
like
passes?
looking and I was like, all right, I can only do 3 day general mission, 3 day VIP. I'm like, are there even day passes? Because then I was like,
Yeah.
really thought I had no shot. And then I got the text from the Bravo Insider thing and it
Yeah.
said, like, oh, catch us next time, like next week when we do the day passes. And I'm like, good.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot. They didn't tell us in 2023 that they were going to have day passes. So like
Mhm.
the urgency was there to get the 3 day,
Yeah.
which is smart of them, right? Because then they get more
Yeah.
people to buy up front. But yeah, I forgot about that. I just remember being tickets being a nightmare both times, but I still suggest that people keep trying because there's also like Facebook groups that do swaps and reselling like at price, not like the hiked up prices, which they
Yeah,
are
you could
also
go on
available.
StubHub. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw like a day pass was like $1,300 on StubHub, but it I didn't really click further on it, but I'm like, well, how are you selling a day pass and they're not even available? And that's the price for like all 3 days VIP.
I saw a VIP 3 day pass on, I don't know where it was, but it was listed for over $16,000. And
Oh my God. No one's
I
gonna pay
kn
that.
No, I know somebody did have a VIP ticket for 3 days that they sold for over 10,000 in 2023.
Like Andy Cohen better come sit on my lap if I
Yeah,
pay that much money.
I'm gonna sit on Andy Cohen's face.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I hope you do get to go to BravoCon and
I
hopefully we
know, me
can.
too.
BravoCon is so fun. Oh, I also recommend if anyone doesn't get tickets to just go anyways because there's other events going on and literally you could just be gambling, like playing a slot machine in Caesars and see a bunch of them walk by. So,
I know. I was like
recommend
to my husband, I was like, if me and like my friend can't go, I was like, the four of us, like her and her husband, I was like, we should just go and like spy on the Bravo people the whole
it.
time.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Summer House a little bit because we had the reunion part two this week, but since then we've gotten departure notifications. And also, I always forget they have an uncensored and extended version on Peacock. So I started watching that and I have some thoughts, but I want to hear from you. What do you think about all of the Summer House nonsense coming out?
So I had a feeling that like Lindsay wasn't with her boyfriend anymore, the baby daddy.
Hmm.
But then I'm like, well, maybe not because she doesn't post with him anyway. So see, it was like easy for her to hide that because it wasn't weird.
Yeah.
But the weirdest part to me was, oh, we're not together romantically, but like he still spends the night and we like go to brunch together and he's like so funny and he's the best dad. It's like, then why aren't you together?
I know.
Like, if you could do all that together, I never understand why people aren't together.
Maybe they will get there. I mean, everything in their relationship happened really fast. So maybe they're just not quite there. They're trying to get used to the idea. I don't know, but I will say this. I have a feeling I'm not saying that I want this to happen or I don't want it to happen. I just get this witchy feeling that Carl and Lindsay are gonna wind up back together at some point. I know. I like it's
That would be
so
wild.
crazy to even think of, but something came over me when I watched see the reunion part two. I was like, "Oh my God. I think they're gonna be
Did you have a
together someday."
premonition? You had a
Yes.
premonition.
Basically, I was like, I think this is gonna happen. And then I like tried to ignore it a little bit, but then I watched the uncensored extended version on Peacock and I felt it even stronger. I was like, "Oh my
Oh,
God."
really? I got to watch that. Usually I like to watch the uncensored ones because I just like to hear all the curse words too. It makes it
Yeah.
more like angry.
Jesse said the F word. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah, I need to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, I just have this weird feeling about that. Also, I saw there's like a parody account on Twitter that posts things that make it look like it's real, but it's not. And they pretended that Carl did a goodbye message or whatever. Did you
Oh,
see that?
I didn't see that, but I saw on Instagram it said the Carl tweet is fake. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, damn. Like,
So I don't know if he's gonna come back. What do you think about Carl coming back?
I think he'll come back. And you know what? I was sad to see that Paige isn't coming back, but I could maybe feel it. But I really thought she was going to do just at least this summer. Because if you think about it, they're like going to start taping soon
Yeah.
because she's single. A last hurrah, like a fun summer, like not arguing with people about Craig. And I was hoping for that, like easy. My husband was like, she's so booked and busy though. Maybe she can't. And I'm like, maybe. They would have
Yeah.
worked around her schedule though, I think.
Yeah, I feel like she could have just popped in and out whenever she
And
wanted.
maybe she will pop in. Like maybe
Yeah.
she'll go to like the party that they have or something.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You don't think?
No,
Well,
I
then I'm
think
sad
she's
we're
way
not going to get
done.
her one more time just for a goodbye, you know?
I don't think she's going anywhere. Like, I think we'll still see her on Bravo in some capacity
Hmm.
in the near future, but also, like you said, she's very booked and busy. I feel like she was emotionally disconnected from Craig and Bravo
Hmm.
last season. So
Yeah.
like I wasn't surprised at all and I was I was surprised that she was playing along so well, like cordially, without burning bridges up until the very end. Like if you watch her demeanor at the reunion, you could tell
Yeah.
she's checked out. She knew she was
Yeah.
done. So I didn't really think it was a huge surprise when she posted her message. One thing that came out though, I don't know if you saw this. You know how she announced her new clothing line, Daphne?
Oh, yeah.
Well, allegedly, I don't know if this is true, but there is some girl who made a video saying that she was really excited to see Paige's new pajama line because that's the same business that she's in. And so she wanted to like look up, the background on it and everything. And turns out that the co-owner of Daphne or the co-creator used to work for Jenna Lyons. And this girl who has her own pajama clothing brand brought samples to Jenna Lyons with all her PR, marketing, everything. Because I guess and this girl was on the news before. You know how sometimes they do like fashion segments or whatever?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
She did one of those, and her big thing was it's supposed to be like pajamas that you can wear on a Zoom call. And
Yeah.
those are like her exact words, and it's in her marketing materials in print, and that was given to Jenna Lyons. She even had a picture because you know how Jenna Lyons does her like closet clean out sales or whatever.
Yeah. I want to go to that.
So do I. Let's go to one. But
Okay.
this girl, she went to one, and that's where she brought all the samples in this like orange bag. She showed the picture and she thought that was really cool. But then she said that she handed all of that stuff to the guy who is the co-creator of Daphne, and she showed the side-by-side images of her own clothes. You know how Daphne has this stitching right around the collar?
Hmm.
This girl's pajama clothing line has stitching around the collar. And then same with the marketing materials. Paige's Daphne line it says for pajamas made to wear on a Zoom call or something like that.
It even says on a Zoom call. No.
And I don't know, I didn't like double check everything. I didn't like check to see if there's any falsification anywhere, but I was just like, this seems like a lot for someone to make up. And
Yeah.
so I feel like it's worth looking into, at least if I was Paige. And because maybe Paige didn't know.
Yeah. Cause I don't think she's like a evil, conniving, stealing
No, I
person.
feel like if she knew that, she would probably not have gone that route. But here we are, right? So I'm wondering if she knows about it. And when she hears about this, if she will address it or if she will just ignore.
That's so interesting because I just listened to her and Hannah's podcast the other day, the Giggly Squad, and she was talking about the pajama line. And she said, I can't take credit for the name of it. It was a guy. She says, it's
She
this
did?
guy. Yeah.
Oh my God. See, I don't listen to the
So
Giggly
see, it's
Squad.
the guy. And she said, like, this is a long time coming. Cause like the joke about bed rotting and
Yeah.
stuff.
Hmm.
And she's like, I wanted to do pajamas that it's like you're in that in between. Like, I want to leave the house, but I don't want to be wearing pajamas. And I'm like,
Wow.
true.
Yeah, I love the concept, but we need to know if like that was
That guy is like double crossing. This could be a whole spin-off reality show.
serious.
Like PajamaGate.
Yeah, I just don't think, and I'm not like a giggler or anything. So I don't like whenever I stuck up for a page, people are like, oh my God, you're obsessed. Like, no, I don't even
Yeah.
like listen to Giggly Squad, but I just feel like Paige wouldn't do something like this if she knew about it.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
But if
Craig
it's
would.
true,
Craig would.
Craig would. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, what do you think about Paige spilling all the tea about Craig?
Thank God she told that wedding story, but I had already put two and two together in my brain. I'm like, he was definitely probably asked to leave, and I bet he was drunk. But I didn't know the extent, like her saying he was
In the
kicking
house.
tables in the house, which is if like only the 80-year-old grandma's allowed in the house and that's it, and like no one else is, like, you ain't going in the house either, Craig.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Why would he think that he could, even when he's drunk?
And I believe the entitled brat behavior because when we even saw this season on Southern Charm, when they go to the
Mm-hmm.
Bahamas and they're in a freaking presidential suite, he's like, I'm a grown adult. I don't want to share a room. And I'm like, bitch, you have like a staircase in that hotel room. Like, simmer down. Like,
He's
who
such a
cares?
diva. He's such a diva.
Like, he wasn't going to share a bed with Austin. He had to share a room that had two beds. Like,
I know. He's such a
that's
brat.
not a big deal.
Diva Craig.
Yeah. And didn't you post the old clip of Winter House? That was so bad. How did Paige stay with him after that?
I was shocked. Honestly, she could have picked Andrea. She could be married to Andrea, summering in Italy,
Italy.
having beautiful babies, or maybe not. They could be doing
But she could
fashion
have maybe at least been
spreads.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, everything she's doing now, the podcast, the red carpets, the
hmm
clothing line, I feel like she could have done that with Andrea and he would have been supportive and they would have been in love and it would have been like a fairy tale. But
Remember you bring her coffee in bed? I'm like,
yes. And she picked Craig.
I
God
know.
help
And my
her.
husband has always said, like, since even back then, he was worse back then, but like, he's like, I can't, like, his voice is so annoying. It's like whiny. Like, he's like, I don't know why she's with him. I'm like, tell it like it is.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong with my sewing? That kid.
I know. I wonder if he's still with the girlfriend.
I'm sure he is. He seems like the kind of guy who just can't be alone.
Yeah, I see that.
Because when he is alone, he hangs out with like Austin and gets wasted.
I wonder if he is drinking again.
I, well, he never stopped.
Yeah. But I mean, like hard alcohol. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he was like drinking beer, like telling people, like, I'm sober now. And I'm like, you're literally drinking beer.
I
That
know.
doesn't count as being sober.
I know. He's ridiculous.
I know.
Oh my gosh. So who else? Oh, Lexi also announced that she's leaving. What do you think about that?
I was like half surprised, half not, because I was like, why would she ruin this opportunity and let Jesse win? Like, they would probably for sure have her back.
Really? That's
I think so, just to like, not that I would have wanted to watch it, but to continue the her and Jesse drama. So I think they would have asked for her back.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I thought that her message sounded like it was not her decision. Like she wanted to go back, but they were like, no.
Oh, really?
That's what I got from that, but maybe I read it wrong. Let's see.
Well, dot, dot, dot. That wasn't the summer I signed up for, but it definitely taught me a lot. I stood up for women and for what's right, even when it wasn't easy. And I'd do that again in a heartbeat. I'm leaving Summer House with no regrets. Parentheses. Well, dot, dot, dot. Maybe one wink face. I'm proud of the way I handled myself, proud of what I walked away from, and even prouder of what I'm walking toward. Big things are coming. Stay tuned. That made me think that like she's walking away, leaving Summer House with no regrets, walking away from.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know
I think
why.
she's doing a lingerie line collabed with Hanky Panky. I mean, that's a big deal.
Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah, I heard. I think she was on. It was when she was on Nick Vile. I
File.
know. I really okay. Not to like shit on podcasters, but like I really don't like him. He
Yeah,
just gets like the people of the moment. So I'm like, well,
yeah,
I have to listen because I want to
yeah.
hear what they're gonna
Same,
say. You know.
same. Yeah, he's definitely really good at getting the people that everyone wants to hear from.
hmm
The problem is for me, he doesn't even go here. Like
I
he doesn't
know.
watch the shows. He's talking out of his ass. Ugh, he annoys me.
And him and Jasmine were on The Bachelor together, weren't they?
I know. She
That
like
is
choked him.
so weird.
She made it to like she was like the fifth one, the last out of the last five.
When I watched The Valley, I could never even fathom her being on other TV.
Right? Well, apparently she has a long list of reality shows that she's been on, and since finding that out, it's actually changed my way of watching her on this show, especially
I
with the
know.
Danny thing. Not that like I think Jasmine and her fiance, I think they're well within their right to address it with Danny
Hmm.
as long as they want or feel they need
Yeah.
to, because that was way wrong of Danny. However, I don't know, it just feels like everything she does now seems like it's trying, like there's some intention behind it. It's
Yeah.
not,
Like
it's
with the
produced.
Jason Ring thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do feel bad for him because he's a lawyer. Like he has a real job.
I know, which is surprising in the way that he's acting this season. To me, I don't know, but what do you think?
Well, and it's surprising he'd even be like, yeah, let's get on this show. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Yeah.
he has a serious job. Like, I'm not hiring him to be my lawyer just because you're on this loony show.
Well, maybe he's like, doesn't he work for a corporate company or something?
There must be, yeah, like
He's like a in-house lawyer. I don't think it's not
he's
like
like not out on his own.
yeah, I don't think he's like representing clients in court in front of a judge or anything. But regardless, no, I'm with you because it is bizarre that he's participating this much, right?
Yeah. Oh, and then my friend, the one that we want to go to Bravocon together, she texted me like a TikTok video the other day, and it was someone caught the scene when Jason is
Yeah.
FaceTiming Jax and he's on an iPhone, and then the next minute he's on like an Android and it's a different color. And I'm like, is that fake?
I know. I need to go back and watch that because I feel like that could be fake, or I feel like it could make sense because we know Jason has an Android. Maybe
Hmm.
he called on an iPhone, like Janet's
Janet's.
iPhone for the video chat.
Ah, yeah, because remember he said I have an Android, I'm not in the boys chat.
Yeah, and then maybe he had his Android or switched over when he was like looking at messages or something. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
referencing something because I do that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, it's not, I don't know if this is like a fake scene. I'm not convinced of that yet.
Even though everything Jax says is freaking fake.
Oh, 100%. What do you think about Jax's podcast tour being canceled?
Good. And you know what made me mad? Do you watch the after show?
Yes.
Okay. He was like, my podcast is so successful. You and Brittany started that podcast together.
During Scandival.
Yeah, you were unbearable to listen to and annoying. She then held the fort down and did the podcast when you were gone. And when they were sharing the podcast, I literally only listened to Brittany's weeks on purpose. Even if I didn't really like want to listen, I was like, purposely not going to tune into his week and I'm purposely going to tune into Brittany's week. He's just like, no, like, don't say my podcast was so successful. Your podcast together was so successful. And I'd like to see the numbers. You made $1 million.
Yeah, he's such a liar.
The IRS needs to come get him because he's already not paying them taxes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, their mortgage is already like 18K a month.
Can you believe that? That
That's
is not
disgusting.
right. And
It's
she doesn't want to
disgusting.
sell the house. He's like, she could sell the house. It's like, she doesn't want to, douche.
He's an awful person. He really is.
It's just awful too, because it's like, he shouldn't do that to Brittany,
Hmm.
but he's doing it to his son, which is
I know.
gross.
I know.
Like you
It's
made
so
him
bad.
leave the house and then they had to come back and then pay all your bills. I don't understand that either.
Ugh, he makes me sick.
I know. He's like, I paid the mortgage off when I was in rehab. No, you didn't.
Lies. He's such a liar.
Such a
Oh,
liar.
you can't believe anything he says.
How creepy was that when she was FaceTiming Jax? Or I mean, she was FaceTiming Jax's sister and he's like,
Yes.
I can hear you. And I'm like, ew.
This is the thing. Like, that's a creepy thing for someone to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the thing with Jax is he knows that it's all on camera. So, like, I feel like he wants to look like a creep because he knows what he's doing. And I don't
Yeah.
know why he's doing it. Whatever this game plan is, like, it's awful. It's stupid. I think it's going to get him canceled. And it already is. His podcast tour is getting or has been canceled. I posted that, that little headline.
Mm-hmm.
And the comments are popping off. People are tagging Bravo saying he needs to be fired. He needs to not go to Bravocon.
Yeah, he's on the list.
Yeah, people are mad.
Yeah. He'll get tomatoes thrown at him if he is allowed to be there.
Tomatoes. I feel bad that James Kennedy is kind of canceled now too.
I know. He was at least more like likable. I don't know.
He was like entertaining, but
Yeah, he actually DJ'd in Dewey Beach, like in our Delaware beaches, like Memorial Day weekend.
wait, like this Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
was like, wow,
God.
that's so weird. I didn't go because it was like it was like raining and cold.
Oh. Oh
And I was
yeah,
like,
I
that is
stayed in and
so
binged.
funny. Yeah. I was like, that is so funny. He was there. I'm like, I wonder how much money they paid him to go all the way from California to Delaware. He must need it. That's when you're like, okay, you must need this because you're far, far away from here.
Well, I think they pay well.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably taking anything he can get at this point.
He was supposed to do something with Paulie D, but see, I wonder after that happened if
Yeah,
Paulie D dropped. It did.
it
That
got canceled.
sucks. See, that's what I mean. That's so stupid.
I know. It was really sad to see because I really didn't think James Kennedy was going to be impacted at all by finding out that they were done filming
Me
Vanderpump
either.
Rules because he was doing so well with his DJ gigs, with everything he was doing. So it was very shocking that he was so bent out of shape over that news, which I think ultimately led to his
Hmm.
downfall, him falling off the wagon or whatever happened, and that domestic dispute between him and Allie, like that was his downfall because they let him go on Vanderpump Rules. It seems so foolish and silly to me.
I agree. And I feel like if none of them had a feeling filming last season that it was going to be over, then they're blind and deaf because it was like pulling teeth to get them all together. Bravo doesn't want that.
Yeah. They, I don't know why they think it's like they expect to have like a career on reality television. I don't
Forever,
understand
too.
anyone
Yeah.
who thinks that. That's like such a bizarre thing to me. Like Alexis Bellino saying I'm a TV star or
Star.
whatever. Like,
I
what
loved
the
when
hell are
Shannon
you
made fun of her.
It's like, what are you talking about? You
Yeah.
like happen to be on TV, but that could go away any minute. And I think anyone who goes on a reality show should acknowledge that and be aware of that when they go on.
I know that's like to bring it back to Jersey. That's where I feel like Teresa doesn't understand. Like, it's like you show up to these things, you're so miserable, you don't want to be there, then we're going to let you go because I don't like watching someone that they're so irritated to show up to a dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I want to watch people having fun. I mean, we like light drama, but it's like she would be pissed off to be there. And it's like, I'm sorry, are we bothering you that like you're filming?
Oh man, I feel like Rhode Island is going to be the new Jersey. Like it's going to
Yeah,
replace what we're missing from Jersey.
same.
And I'm okay with that because Jersey, I think, reached the limit. They
Hmm.
got too toxic. There's too much production going on, like on the cast, and I think that is the ultimate downfall. I am worried about Salt Lake City going in that direction because I already see it happening there as well, and I don't want to watch shows like that. I want to watch as authentic reality as we can
Hmm.
get. Like everyone knows it's not authentic if there's a camera in your face and there's production crew. Like that can
Yeah.
never be true, real reality. But let's get as close as we can get, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want people who are so worried about what's going to happen post production. I want them to live in the moment and just
Hmm.
be.
Yeah. That's why I feel like the Valley is good because all of this stuff is really happening in their real life. Like Brittany is really getting divorced from Jax.
Yeah, but I think Jax is performative.
Yeah. That's why we could do without him.
Yeah, he can go. He can leave.
Even though he's going to be back next episode, right? And that's when he's like, how can you just get over 10 years? It's like, everything you've done, I could get over you in 5 seconds.
I know. What are you
Like,
talking about,
he
Jack?
like is so delusional and acts like he likes didn't do anything.
The
That's what I
way
can't stand.
he said, "Where's my care package?" or whatever, like, where's my fucking care package,
Yeah.
bitch?
Yeah. It
Jax
seems like he'd
Taylor
have
owes all of
time.
us.
Yeah. He'd have time to make his own care package because I don't know what he's doing in that rehab because all he's doing is rage texting Brittany. He gets to go home, which is inappropriate.
So weird.
Like that
Dangerous.
that was like a self check-in spa. I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
convinced of it. I think it was something like Raquel went to.
Yeah. I think so too.
I think the show made him go do something.
I think he probably knew that if he didn't go, he would get in trouble
Hmm.
somehow. Because then you have on camera that he's admitted to doing cocaine. And like, if they're getting divorced,
Hmm.
that could be used in court against him. So
Yeah.
he kind of has to go to rehab or a pretend rehab to be able to combat that, right?
Yeah. I would love to be a fly on the wall for like their court hearings or like Lala and Randall.
Yes. I would love to know all the details.
Like,
When is Randall
I
going
know,
to
like,
jail?
because he cheated on. Yeah. Remember that whole like Hulu thing? And I'm like, okay, like, does he make movies after that? Because that's
He
a
changed
pretty
his name.
bad.
He
He
changed
did.
his working name to Randall Ives. Randall Emmett Ives or something.
What? It's like we know it's you though. It's still you.
I know.
Like, did you change your
Oh,
face?
actually, something recently, I think, is it SAG maybe? I think SAG put out a notice saying we are boycotting all of Martin Scorsese and Randall Emmett Ives movies. We are not working with them. They are not paying their employees, which is on par with the Randall scandal. And I don't know why this man is still just walking around living his life like nothing happened.
Yeah, and why would Martin Scorsese attach himself to him any longer? You know what I mean? Like he's so famous
I know, it's
and
really
rich.
weird. It's,
I'd be mad if he wasn't paying me. I'd be like, you can pay me.
yeah. That's why I wonder is like Martin Scorsese one of Randall's con victims? Like, is he getting scammed?
Oh my God.
I wouldn't
I
be
don't know.
surprised
Well, and then it's like he's scamming, but it's like, how did you have money? Because he did have some forms of money.
because he does like Ponzi style things. Like, remember, he took Jax's money for the investment,
Yeah.
never gave it back to him,
Yeah.
or probably did, and Jax is lying.
I know. That is like maybe the one thing I believe about Jax. Then that's it. Like that's it. Because Lala and Brittany concurred the story. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Did you see Tom Girardi, speaking of Ponzi schemes and awful people? He got sentenced on his birthday to jail
I know
for
I
like
saw that.
7 years or something. I don't know how the judge thinks he's faking. At this point, he's not faking. He looks
I
bad.
He does look bad. He's old as hell.
No, he looks so bad. Like he won't even live 7 days in jail.
Oh my gosh.
But he needs to go to jail. Like, I don't care if you're like 100 years old. You still did this. So you still need to go to jail. And I don't understand why it's taken this long.
Do you think Erika belongs in jail? Just your opinion, not like court opinion.
No, I just like really do feel like she didn't know.
Really?
He doesn't strike me as the type that was like telling her information. Like, I feel like we saw their type of relationship. Remember that time they went out with Lisa and Ken when she first came on the show? And he was talking, and then Erika kind of talked to you and went, Erika, I'm speaking. And I'm like, yeah, you're a child. Like, this is, you live with your dad, and like, he's not telling you any of his business.
Yeah.
That's like how I got the vibe.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see her not being guilty legally of doing
Hmm.
anything, but the way she handled everything after it came out to me felt morally guilty.
Yeah.
Like she was just like, and I get it, you can't talk about the details of this lawsuit going on, but just her attitude, it was just didn't feel good.
I know. I think it was hard because if she would have sympathized at all with the victims, then I think they would
It
have
would have been
taken those
totally different.
clips and they no, well, I think they would have been like, see, she's sympathizing, so she did something. She did
Oh,
it.
you
Like,
think so?
and they would have held her accountable in court. It's just
Oh,
like
wow. You think?
hard, I think, when you're on TV. You can't like say anything.
Yeah. That's why I just don't get people who break laws or do immoral things that go on reality television
I know.
voluntarily. It's like, what are you doing? That is bizarre behavior.
I know. Because did you see that Chrisley's got out of jail?
I know.
I never watched that show back in the day, but
It was good.
that man is gay. I'm
No,
sorry.
I knew that from the beginning
Like he
too.
funny, great TV, but
Hilarious.
like gay.
And also, I think they are guilty. I don't even know the details of their case, but I don't know why he pardoned them. Maybe I'm missing something.
So I think like the reason, which is like kind of what I think about Joe Giudice, they it said they fabricated stuff to get like loans and stuff. And then I'm like they fabricated how much money they make or have to then get loans.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, like a lot of people do that.
Isn't that what Anna Delvey did?
No,
Kind of.
she like got people's money and I feel like lied and said she was making
No,
like a company, didn't she?
I thought she'd never even got any money. She was like trying to get the money and saying like she had a whole business plan.
But then
The
how'd she
only
have all the
thing,
I know,
yeah,
I
the only thing
forget.
that she lied about was that she didn't actually say it. People just assumed and she didn't correct them that she was like an heiress. So they thought she had the money to back it up if she got a loan and it like, if anything happened.
I watched that Netflix show and I like already forget everything.
Yeah, I could be totally wrong too, by the way. I'm going off my memory, and that was a while ago.
But I
But
think
that
the
was like how I
Chrisleys got
understood it.
punished an excessively longer amount of
Oh,
time
really?
than if normal people did what they
Oh,
did. Kind of like Joe Giudice. Like I do think, you should serve time. You did do wrong things. But I think it was dramatic, even though he technically wasn't a citizen. I think it
I
was
know.
dramatic that he then had to be like deported.
I know. That part is rough.
Yeah. And all the restitution Teresa has to pay. See, I feel like that's punishment enough, paying all
What
that
about
restitution.
Gia? I feel like this degree thing, this investigation is only happening because she's on TV. Like, why would
Yeah.
anyone go back
Two
2 years?
years. Yeah.
Another reason not
And
to
I'd
watch
like to know
reality
who did
television.
that. Who looked at that?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, why out of nowhere is
Unless you think
every
that's
single
totally made up.
Rutgers? I don't,
That'd be
maybe.
wild if that was just like out of thin air made up.
If that's out of thin air, then that is really fucking weird.
I
Like,
know.
who would even make that up and why?
But I feel like the fact that they lumped it in with Louis, then we're all like, yeah, it's probably true. Like, because he's just shady. Why isn't he in jail? All this stuff. Remember all those accounts that
Yeah,
were
the
like
email.
hardcore talking about like whistleblowing and saying they used to work for Teresa
Hmm.
and were paid. And they're like, well, now we're like, flip the switch and look at all this and that. And I'm like, what's happening with all that? It said their house was going to go into foreclosure or something, him and Teresa's.
See, I hate knowing, like, I don't want to know if they're doing this stuff. I don't want to watch people who are living a lifestyle that they can't afford.
And if she gets fired from, not fired, but if the show gets canceled, how is she making money? Like she made
Sponsorships,
so much
maybe
money,
write another book. I don't know.
but then it's like no one really wants to buy your book if you're not currently on TV. You go into like the has been pile. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we still like some of those OGs, but once they aren't on TV, we quickly forget about them.
Yeah. Even Omarosa is going to law school right now.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, why is she going to law school? I don't think it's like just for fun.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was like, why isn't Gia going to law school? And I'm like, she's riding this wave right now.
Yeah. Why should she?
Yeah.
Law school can wait.
Yeah.
So, what else? Do you have anything you want to tell the people? Is there anything like you are obsessed with when it comes to Bravo? I could tell you mine if you want to know.
Yeah,
My
tell me yours first
my
while I think.
current obsession is DJ Meredith Marks.
Oh my God, I saw those pictures. That is funny.
I love her so much. I love the DJing. I love the fan, the sunglasses, the this move, like
Yeah,
whatever
that
this
was
is.
funny. Those are going to be some good memes. That was funny.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I'm currently obsessed. It counts because it was on Bravo. Honestly, Cavallari.
You
I
are?
love Kristen Cavallari because I was a big Laguna Beach fan,
Okay.
big Hills fan, and I did watch Very Cavallari.
Me
And
too.
I follow like her and Justin Anderson and
Hmm.
listen when he's always on her podcast, and I'm
I love
obsessed with
him.
the two of them.
Yeah.
He's
No, I
so
like them
funny.
too. What did you think about Kim Zolciak being the first guest?
Well, then, do you know, my husband said it was funny because we had just watched the next gen thing and we saw Ariana
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, she and Croy took my money. So then she's on stage and Kristen's like, oh, I love Kim. And Mike's like, my husband's like, you're not going to like her when you find out she took her daughter's money. And I'm like, yeah, you think Kristen doesn't know yet? Like the world, I guess, didn't really know until Ariana said that the other night.
Yeah. No, I wonder if Kristen might be mad because Kristen has said very, like many times, not just on Honestly Cavallari, but on Very Cavallari, she said, because of my time in reality TV, I get very cautious of who I keep close to me because a lot of times they will have an agenda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching episode 1 of Honestly Cavallari. Kim's up there crying, talking about Croy stalking her, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, is this bitch a genius? Did she know that Next Gen NYC was going to come out? Ariana was going to say, my parents
Mm-hmm.
took my money because I wrote a comment on someone's post saying like, "Oh my God, Ariana said her parents took her money or whatever." I said, "I really wish that she would have been specific and said that it was Kim, not Croy, because I really believe that. I think that Kim
Yeah.
has a gambling addiction. I think that she's incredibly irresponsible with money, and I believe that she took all of Ariana's money. And then after I wrote that comment, then Ariana puts out a video saying, I just want to make it clear that it was both my parents that took my money. It takes two to tango, which makes no sense in this situation. But I just thought, oh my God, did Kim call her and tell her to say this? Because I feel like
That'd
Ariana
be
is,
sad.
no, it's super sad because I think Ariana, like, she's given the energy I get from her is sweet, naive, and I
Mm-hmm.
think she really does love her mother despite her mother's toxic behavior. And I
Yeah.
think when I say toxic behavior, I mean like taking her kids' money, gambling it away, being
Mm-hmm.
irresponsible, blah, 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 whatever. Even the stuff, the divorce that's going on, like everything they're doing in front of their children is like, it's so sad. And also, Ariana was sentenced to like 2 years probation for a DUI. I heard that it wasn't even her who
Oh,
was
I remember
driving.
that.
She took the fall for someone else.
Kim?
And yeah, probably Kim. But I'm like, I don't know if that's true. I wouldn't recommend it. But
Yeah.
now that I've seen Next Gen NYC, I don't know. I just get this vibe from her. Like, I feel like has a good heart. And I feel like Kim takes advantage of her.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have Kim go on Honestly Cavallari 2 days after the Next Gen NYC premiere and say all this stuff about Croy, it
Yeah.
feels like a setup. And it's her getting the documentation ready to show the judge for her
Yeah.
divorce.
And I'm like, are you people not divorced yet?
Oh,
Do they still live in the same house? How is
God,
it
I
not
hope not.
foreclosed?
I don't know. I feel like Croy is just drowning, probably trying to take care of his 4 kids. And he's like, doesn't know how to keep it together because anytime he gets any money to take care of the family, Kim probably spends it immediately. And he's like trying to do both. Like imagine it's like climbing up a hill while someone's like pushing you down.
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for him.
And my husband said he made a lot of money when he was on the Falcons. And he said Jay Cutler actually made a lot of money too.
Yeah.
But see, Kristen was always smart and kept their stuff separate.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. She said it. She goes, your money is our money and my money is my money.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be for women because then you know that I'm with you because I choose you, not because I need you.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be.
And I think it's sad, like Ariana said on the show, that her mom's called and been like, oh, I can't pay the air conditioning bill. So she sends her money. That is terrible. Also, I personally think, like, let's say Kim wasn't erratically spending and the air conditioning was really being turned off. It's not fair. You're like asking your daughter who doesn't live there anymore
I
to
would
pay the
never.
air conditioning. Like, go be a stripper if you need
Yeah,
to pay the air conditioning bill. Like,
yeah.
don't ask her for money. And then I love the boyfriend because that's like me. He's like, no, she takes advantage of you. And I would be like that. And then to
Yeah.
find out he's like rich from like chicken money. I was like,
I
ooh,
know. I
that's
was like, what is this
exciting.
chicken business?
Mm-hmm. He's like, we don't really need a budget. I thought that was cute though. She's like, we need
I
to
know.
budget the apartment. He's like, we really don't. And I'm
I
like, why
know.
don't you need to
I know. I
tell
was like, what
us?
is going on? At first, I thought he was a grifter too. And I'm like, why is Ariana talking like she is paying for all of their bills together
Yeah.
plus her mom's? I was very confused about that. But knowing now that he has his own money, like he seems like,
Let him pay for that apartment then, girl.
yeah, I feel like he's probably so sweet. And because he takes care of Ariana, that's probably why Kim feels like it's okay to ask her for money, which is I don't agree with at
No.
all. And it's disgusting, but I feel like that's probably how she rationalizes it.
And how do you think she took, or they, her and Croy, took her money? Do you think it's because she was underage
Mm-hmm.
and she was being paid, so she was in charge
Yep.
of the account? That's gross.
So gross, right?
That's awful. Because, like, I
Ariana was
always
on
think
TV since
about,
she was 5. That's so sad.
yeah, I always think about like Mary Kate and Ashley. So their parents made them like the owners and rights to all their little movies and stuff. Like, those are good parents. That's what your
Yeah.
parents should do. They
Yeah.
made sure those girls were
Yeah.
not
Set
being
up.
taken
Yeah.
advantage of,
Mm-hmm.
and they were putting their money aside smartly for them. Like,
Yeah.
that's what your parents should do.
Yeah. I agree. It's so sad what Kim's doing.
I
Don't blame it on
know.
Kim.
I know. I like them. I like the other people on the show. The Charlie guy seems like he's gonna be a bit of a douche. That's like hitting on like Brooke's
Sister, Chloe.
sister. Yeah.
Did you see that he was at the scene of the crypto torture incident?
What is it, him or his friends?
Him.
Oh, weird.
But I want to know if well, he was seen at the scene. I
Yeah.
because his friends, I believe, were the ones who were torturing somebody. And if you watch Next Gen NYC, the first episode, Charlie has 2 friends that are seen a lot. And I want to
Yeah.
know, are they
I think
also
it's
involved?
them. I think it
You
was
think it's
them.
them?
Yeah. When I saw like an article, it said it referred to it as like it's them.
Oh my God.
I'm like, damn.
I mean, I love true crime, but I don't want it to be mixed in with Bravo.
I know. It gets too dark. How about the girl that
Trust
like doesn't wash her hands and stuff?
That's why New York City was hit hardest with COVID
Yeah,
because
her.
of Georgia.
Yeah. Even though I
They
was
did it
concerned,
single-handedly.
I was concerned no one knew like when Harry met Sally. And I'm like,
Because they're all so young.
that's why like I'm not young anymore. So it's like I'm 34. So it's like I don't know if I can watch 20-year-olds. Do you
I
know what I
know.
mean? Like I'm really gonna try because I liked it thus far. But if the Housewives kids weren't on it and it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
20 something, no.
No, I wouldn't
Like
watch it
Summer
either.
House, please don't replace Paige with all these 20 somethings. Like
I
Lexi was
know.
kind of bad enough. I'm not trying to be mean,
No, I
But
wanted
it's like
Lexi to come back.
I
Yeah,
couldn't watch a house of all Lexis. I would blow
yeah,
my
no,
brains out.
I agree with that. I do feel like when I'm watching Next Gen NYC, like I'm watching my children. So it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like I'm not trying to relate to them. I'm just like, where's your mother?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there she is, Marla.
Yeah. But
DJ
that's why
Meredith Marks.
I'm like that maybe that's why I'll like Georgia, besides her not washing her hands, like maybe she's an old soul.
I think she is one of those type of people,
And I
but
like that. But wash
the,
your hands.
yeah, you need to wash your hands. Also, the fork. Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like I feel like it's performative. I don't
Because
think
at the end,
anyone
wasn't she getting like mad? She's like, don't tell me what to do with my body. I'm like, you mean washing your hands? Like, what? She's like,
she's
my body, my choice. I'm like, no, don't say that.
I wonder
Like with the washing the hands.
I wonder if she takes showers.
Yeah. And it's like, actually, you have to wash your hands. Like, what if she worked there? It says right there, employees must wash their hands. She going to tell them my body, my choice? It's like, no, you have to wash your hands.
Yeah. Maybe in that case she would do it, but
Hopefully.
oh, well, we are out of time, but this has been so much fun, and I hope to have you on again in the near future. Can you tell everyone where they can follow and support your content?
So I'm on Instagram at Bravo T with the stay at home mom. If you follow me and listen to my podcast already, you know that I'm having a dilemma with TikTok. It got hacked. I have to make another
Oh.
one. So annoying. They haven't recovered it for me, haven't helped at all. I'm probably yelling at a robot, honestly. I'm like, give me my account back. So I'm going to make a new one. I just haven't because I'm still getting so upset with it. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
TikTok has like a sore spot right now for me, but I'm going to
I
make a new
never liked
one.
TikTok.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a new one, but I'm on Apple, Spotify, YouTube
Weekly? Do you do weekly episodes?
every week. Yep. And then sometimes I do bonus ones if I have enough to talk about. Like I'm gonna do a bonus one about honestly Cavallari.
Oh, good. Well, thank you so much. Don't forget to check out her pages, everyone. Show some love and share this episode with your Bravo besties. And if you want more behind the scenes and bonus episodes, head to patreon.com/Bravo and Blaze and grab your Bravo and Blaze signature lighters. I have mine right here at bravoandblaze.com. Until next time, stay lit, y'all.
Bye.